Good evening. Thank you for joining us tonight. This is Emo Nightly News, every moment online. In tonight's headlines, Dominica Cadet Corps expands officer training. Josephine Gabriel and Company commissions EC $10 million bottling plant in Canefield. OECS congratulates Kiron Stanislas on historic MD achievement in Morocco. Regional experts seek solutions to protect Caribbean spiny lobster. Maduro seeks dismissal of U.S. drug charges, claims legal defense funds were blocked. Pakistan launches airstrikes on Afghanistan, escalating border conflict. And Dominica's senior women ready for crucial CONCACAF showdown against Guyana. Details of these stories and more coming up next. Stay with us.
Welcome to Antigua. Them people have no behavior. They have no behavior. Welcome to Antigua. Clear out how you know it's danger. How you know it's danger. When it comes to mass, it was deadly.
And welcome back, everyone. I'm your presenter, Rick Francis, and this is the news broadcast for the 27th of February, 2026. First up in local news, the Dominica Cadet Corps, DCC, is moving to strengthen its leadership ranks with more than 20 potential cadet officers, PCOs, set to participate in a 3-day training camp from February 27 to March 1, 2026. The weekend camp will bring together the PCOs along with commissioned and non-commissioned officers as they prepare to assume responsibilities as unit commanders and other leadership roles within the organization. The exercise will also serve as a refresher for current officers. Since November, participants have been engaged in virtual theoretical training covering key areas relevant to the Cadet Corps. The upcoming camp will focus on the practical components of that training. Sessions will be led by senior DCC officers and hosted at the Office of Disaster Management ODM facility in Jimit. The initiative forms part of the DCC's broader drive to increase recruitment and strengthen the Cadet Corps program across secondary schools island-wide. The Dominica Cadet Corps is a paramilitary youth organization aimed at instilling discipline, leadership, and civic responsibility among young people. Minister for Education, Fenella Wenham Shepherd, has voiced great pleasure at the performance of participants in the Youth Skills Training Heavy Equipment Operations module. She described their involvement as a clear indication of the country's positive direction and commitment to youth development.
It is more than just a showcase of machinery. We heard Mr. UT said that you were going to do a demonstration. But today is way more than that for us. It is more about demonstrating where we're heading as a country. And you will well agree that probably a few years ago, it was, we could say, less than 5 people operating. And we're talking about island-wide, we're not talking about just in the northern area. Or we had very popular names in the north as it relates to heavy equipment operations. I remember at one point, if you had asked me to identify an operator, it would be 2 grown men. And I didn't know more than that. But eventually we had more operators come on board. But as a country, as we are actively reshaping our education system, and you have to understand why I'm talking education, we cannot just focus on the traditional things.
Meanwhile, trainer Eutychus Fabian of Easy Developments also expressed satisfaction with the progress and performance of the young trainees to date.
I am very happy and pleased to see that persons who came here could not do anything, didn't know nothing about the equipments, and now they can definitely be here today to show the public what they have learned and what they can do. And as a result, I can safely say that we have a few of them who have already gained employment somewhere already, who have been making some money from the time this program started.
One of Dominica's longest-running businesses, Josephine Gabriel and Company Limited, has launched a new EC 10 million fully automated bottling plant in Canefield. The modern facility, commissioned today, represents a major step in the company's expansion and commitment to local production. Managing Director Marisa Gabriel Simelda said the investment will boost efficiency, increase output, and support long-term sustainability to better serve local and regional markets. Acting Prime Minister Irving McIntyre praised the move, highlighting its positive impact on economic growth, job creation, and national development. The new plant is expected to significantly expand the company's production capacity and strengthen its role in Dominica's manufacturing sector. Kalinago Chief Annette Sanford is currently in Jamaica participating in activities marking World Indigenous Day alongside numerous civil society organizations from across the region. The conference, organized by the Caribbean Development Bank and the High Commission of Canada, brings together indigenous leaders, development partners, and specialists to discuss governance, sustainability, and community empowerment. Chief Sanford described the opportunity to network with representatives of other indigenous communities as empowering, noting that engagement with donors and experts provides valuable avenues to strengthen governance within the Kalinago Council and improve its overall impact. Also in attendance is Minister for Environment, Rural Modernization and Kalinago Upliftment, Honorable Kozia Frederick. Chief Sanford is expected to return on Sunday, after which discussions will take place regarding the upcoming permit system for the Kalinago territory. Also in local news, the second round of the Inter-Secondary Schools debate competition concluded in exciting fashion yesterday at the University of the West Indies Global Campus, where defending champions Dominica Grammar School, DGS, secured a hard-fought victory over Castlebrooks Secondary School. Competing on the proposing side, Dominica Grammar School delivered a commanding performance, earning 658 points from the judges. Their well-structured arguments, confident delivery, and effective rebuttals impressed the adjudicating panel and audience alike. Castlebrooks Secondary School, arguing in opposition, also mounted a strong and spirited challenge. The team demonstrated depth of research and persuasive reasoning, finishing the round with a commendable 597 points. The closely watched matchup drew enthusiastic support from fellow students, teachers, and debate supporters who gathered at the UWI Global Campus to witness the intellectual showdown. With this win, Dominica Grammar School advances confidently in the competition, while Castlebrooks Secondary School leaves the round with valuable experience and pride in a strong showing. And finally, in local news, the Dominica Hotel and Tourism Association, DHTA, has entered 2026 with cautious optimism, citing steady growth in stay-over arrivals and a 40% increase in membership, now nearing 100 members. The association commended government and stakeholders for progress in marketing and air access, stressing that stayover visitors remain the largest contributor to tourism GDP. Improved connectivity through Contour and Wing Air, along with the upcoming hyperbaric chamber and sperm whale reserve legislation, further strengthened Dominica's position as a sustainable, high-value destination. However, the DHGA highlighted ongoing cruise port challenges and called for meaningful consultation on plans for a new cruise terminal. The association supports a shift towards a high-value tourism model focused on sustainability over mass volume. Plans are also advancing for HikeFest 2026 under the theme Beyond the Beaten Path, aimed at boosting niche tourism and community involvement. The DHTA reaffirmed its commitment to working with stakeholders to ensure balanced and sustainable tourism development in Dominica. And that's all for local news this evening. Stay tuned for regional news coming up next.
Blast Gaming presents its biggest job whatever. Blast Mystery Progressive. I'm so excited. I can't hide it. The new Blast Jackpot rising. And I like it. It going up and up and up and up and up. Blast up and up and up and up and up and up.
Play selected games to win in the Blast Mystery Progressive. Pick until you match 3 gems and win one of the 5 cash jackpots. Or you can blast up with the Mystery Progressive jackpot.
It going up and up and up and up and up. Blast up and up and up. Blast Gaming.
And now for regional news. The Organization of Eastern Caribbean States, OECS, has congratulated Kieron Courtney Stanislas on becoming the first St. Lucian and the first individual from English-speaking Caribbean to earn a Doctor of Medicine, MD degree in the Kingdom of Morocco. Stanislas graduated on February 13, 2026 from the Faculty of Medicine and Pharmacy at Mohammed V University in Rabat. He also received the university's thesis graduation prize for his research on the impact of physical exercise therapy on cancer patients. In reflecting on his journey, he expressed gratitude to the OECS, the Moroccan Agency for International Cooperation, AMCI, and the Kingdom of Morocco for their support, dedicating the achievement to his late mother. His accomplishment marks a significant milestone for St. Lucia and the wider Eastern Caribbean, highlighting expanding educational ties between the OECS and Morocco. Each year, Morocco offers up to 20 scholarships per OECS member state, with more than 100 OECS students currently pursuing studies there, including approximately 32 in medical and pharmaceutical fields. Also in regional news, continuing engagements on the margins of the 50th regular meeting of the Conference of CARICOM Heads of Government, Eastern Caribbean Central Bank, ECCB, Governor Timothy N.J. Antoine met with representatives of the Caribbean Private Sector Organization, CPSO. The discussions highlighted the critical role of the private sector in advancing the ECCB's Big Push initiative. Talks focused on expanding trade, diversifying markets, improving regional connectivity and logistics, and driving private sector-led economic growth. During the meeting, Governor Antoine received the final report on de-risking CSME imports, a key document aimed at reducing trade barriers and strengthening regional market integration. Both sides emphasized that stronger public-private collaboration is essential to boosting resilience, enhancing competitiveness, and unlocking sustainable economic transformation across the Eastern Caribbean. Today, February 27, is being observed as World NGO Day, a day dedicated to recognizing the invaluable contributions of non-governmental organizations around the globe. NGOs continue to play a critical role in driving positive change, uplifting communities and advocating for vulnerable populations, from providing humanitarian assistance to advancing environmental protection and social development initiatives. Their impact is felt at both local and international levels. Across the Eastern Caribbean, NGO leaders are being acknowledged for their dedication and commitment to building stronger, more resilient communities. Their work remains essential in addressing social challenges, promoting sustainable development, and creating opportunities for those in need. World NGO Day serves as a reminder for citizens to recognize, support, and engage in the efforts of organizations working toward a better future for all. And finally, in regional news, the FAO's Western Central Atlantic Fishery Commission, WCAFC, has brought together 57 fisheries experts and fisherfolk representatives from 15 lobster-producing countries to strengthen protection of the Caribbean spiny lobster fishery. The sector, which supports thousands of livelihoods and contributes significantly to food security across the region, faces mounting pressure from overfishing, illegal, unreported, and unregulated IUU fishing, weak data systems, and climate change impacts. During a hybrid workshop involving 17 countries with key regional partners, including the Caribbean Network of Fisherfolk Organizations, CNFO, the Caribbean Regional Fisheries Mechanism, CRFM, CARICOM, Impacts, and the Regional Security System, RSS. Participants examined practical science-based measures to improve stock assessments, harmonize management strategies, and curb illegal fishing. WCAFC Chair Isabel Cristina Reyes Robles highlighted the socio-economic importance of the fishery and stressed the need for stronger regional collaboration. Fisherfolk representatives also called for inclusive, context-specific management approaches that reflect the realities faced by those who depend on the resource. Draft recommendations from the meeting will be reviewed by the Scientific Advisory Group before being submitted for endorsement at the next Commission session. Officials say the outcomes are expected to strengthen regional cooperation, improve sustainability, and serve as a model for managing other vital Caribbean fisheries. And that's all for regional news this evening. Stay tuned for international news after this message.
We're at the different phases in life. We move at a different pace. All we need is to be supported. Cause when the baby's coming, business needs revamping, the new job starting, and you need an outfit. Let momentum hook you up. Momentum will hook you up. The wedding's planning, rent due dates coming. Momentum is your support financing. Let momentum hook you up. Momentum will hook you up.
And now for international news. Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro has asked a U.S. federal judge to dismiss drug trafficking charges against him, claiming the U.S. government blocked funds needed to pay his legal team. In a filing before a Manhattan court, defense attorney Barry Pollock argued that U.S. actions interfered with Maduro's Sixth Amendment right to choose his own counsel. He said the U.S. Treasury's Office of Foreign Assets Control initially approved payment of Maduro's legal fees by the Venezuelan government on January 9, but revoked the authorization hours later without explanation. Maduro and his wife, Celia Flores, have been detained in New York since January 3, following their arrest by U.S. authorities. U.S. prosecutors allege that Maduro used his office to assist drug traffickers and that Flores was a co-conspirator. Both have denied the charges. Maduro's legal team maintains that the alleged interference with his right to counsel warrants dismissal of the case. And finally, in international news, Pakistan carried out airstrikes on Kabul, Kandahar, and Paktia on Friday, escalating months of border tensions with Afghanistan's Taliban-led government. Taliban officials said the strikes followed clashes along the border, while Pakistan's Defense Minister Khawaja Asif described the situation as open war. The conflict stems from Pakistan's accusations that Afghanistan is harboring the Tehrik-i-Taliban Pakistan (TTP), a militant group responsible for hundreds of attacks in Pakistan last year. The Taliban deny the claims. Both sides reported heavy casualties from the fighting, though figures remain unverified. The escalation raises concerns of further instability in the region. And that's all for international news. Stay tuned for the sports segment coming up next.
Don't forget, today we have funeral, we have functions. Make sure you're on time.
Always on time, eh?
You're always on time. Make sure. All right. Papa Met, look, I just received a message from National Bank asking me to regain access to my account. I can't message that. Your account has been placed on hold due to an unusual activity. Let me click that link.
How many times NBD has to say that they will never ever send links via text message to regain access to account or to restore account or to do anything with account?
So National Bank that sent it, I believe it. I just click in.
Emo, if you are not sure, it's better if you call National Bank at 255-2300 or email them at customersupport@nbd.dm.
Papa Met, little again I lose all the little money I save up from my account.
And you'd find money to pay me.
Yeah, I tell you, I almost click link and almost lose my money. You're talking about I hope I have money to pay you. Let's go, eh?
All I know is don't click any link. Call NBD instead.
Yeah, let us go our business.
And now for the sports segment. The Dominica Senior Women's National Team is putting the final touches on preparations ahead of its second CONCACAF qualifying match against Guyana tonight at 8 p.m. Head coach Ronnie Gustave says the team is focused on maintaining defensive shape and improving compactness, particularly in midfield, after lessons learned in their previous outing. He noted that while the squad is united and motivated, development remains a work in progress.
The focus right now is keeping ownership of our game because as we could remember in the last game we played that we were just chasing the ball and not being compact in defense, that they were breaking our lines too easily. So one of the things we're working on at this point in time is keeping our shape, keeping compact, especially in the center of the pitch, and we can get them on the outskirts and get to the inside.
The inclusion of 6 overseas-based players has boosted the team's competitiveness and balance. Among them is striker winger Ronia Pierre-Louis, who described representing Dominica as both an honor and a proud milestone in her growth as a player. She praised the strong chemistry within the squad and emphasized her role as a leader and motivator for the younger players. Coach Gustave also highlighted the need for a deeper player pool to manage injuries and strengthen the program long-term. With morale high and fitness levels optimized, he is calling on Dominicans to rally behind the team as they continue building towards success.
We really need a bigger pool of players to see. We really need a bigger pool of players because sometimes we go into the tournaments, players get injured and take a while for them to recover. Well, right now we also have one of our players back home. Unfortunately, she's going to travel with us, which is Christelle. But circumstances beyond our control, but we're hoping that by the next game that she'll be able to join us because that's one of a big cause of fitting into our system of play at this point in time.
Going on right now, the match started at 8 p.m. this evening. The showdown against Guyana is expected to be a competitive test as Dominica pushes forward in its CONCACAF qualifying campaign. And two exciting matches were played yesterday in the Sports Division Secondary Schools Netball Championship at the Winter Park Sports Stadium grounds. In Game 1 under 16, PCSS with 7 points and PSSB with 6 points. Pierre Charles Secondary School edged out Portsmouth Secondary B in a close contest. Scorers for PCSS, Kentisha Mark with 7 points out of 15 attempts. In PSSB, Simran Sharma, 1 point out of 6 attempts. Somina Milad, 5 points out of 8 attempts. In Game 2 under 20, PSS with 32 points and PCSS with 15. PSS delivered a strong performance to secure a convincing victory. Scorers for PSS, Talifa Stewart, 8 points out of 22 attempts. Jacolia Benjamin, 12 points out of 22 attempts. Joel Benjamin, 12 points out of 20 attempts. And that's all for the sports report. Stay tuned for the weather report coming up next. Here is the latest forecast update from the Dominica Meteorological Service. A strong high-pressure system is currently dominating weather conditions across Dominica. Residents can expect occasionally cloudy skies, breezy conditions, and passing showers throughout the period. In addition, a slight haze from Saharan dust is affecting the island, reducing visibility and air quality. Individuals with respiratory sensitivities are being advised to take the necessary precautions. Mariners are urged to use navigational devices when venturing out to sea due to reduced visibility. Turning now to marine conditions, seas are moderate with wave heights reaching approximately 5 feet along the west coast and up to 8 feet along the east coast. A high surf advisory remains in effect due to onshore breaking waves, and a small craft advisory is also in effect, particularly for the eastern coastline where seas are above normal. Small craft operators, sea bathers, and coastal residents are advised to remain on alert and exercise caution. Stay tuned for further updates from the Dominica Meteorological Service. And this brings us to the end of tonight's news broadcast for the 27th of February 2026. I am your presenter, Rick Francis. On behalf of the entire newscast, we say thank you for viewing. This is EmoNightly News, every moment online. Have a good weekend.